Hey guys, Dr. Tom here with my good buddy Sergey.
Yep, Dr. Sergey Leoshili-Sorin, and it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to be doing it in person. And today we were having a great conversation that we wanted to really bring you guys in on, and we're talking about accidental anchoring in chronic illness. So Sergey,
Let me start. So the concept of holistic medicine, holistic, not integrative or not complementary. And again, words are words. We use different words for different symbols, but I want to make sure holistic: spirit, soul, mind, body. That
Yeah.
whole concept, the whole idea, Tom, was literally erased 300 years ago. It was cut off at the head. It was cut off at the spirit soul level. So basically, what it came down to is the medicine has a lot of science. It's very good, double-blind, placebo-controlled studies, great stuff in one way. But you lost the entire human being. You lost the purpose. You lost the meaning. You lost the driver, the control center,
Right.
and you literally lost the entire being. You lost the purpose why we're doing this, and that's why we have chronic illness in our society, because we lost the blueprint by which the human being is supposed to be.
yeah,
Want to jump in?
well, yeah. I mean, I think that part of it is we've become. I like to think of it as separate. You know, we're comparing ourselves with everyone else. We're looking for the healing outside of ourselves, when the true healing really first occurs inside. My own personal journey, I needed 70-80% of my healing was actually because of what was going on inside of me and what I was doing for myself. Whereas I did need 20 or 30% help from somebody else, but it's not the other way around, right? And I think that it's when you look at those levels that you're talking about, we need to be integrated to all aspects of our lives. And one of the things that I notice with people who are suffering with chronic illness, Sergey, is that they kind of have this mindset, and a lot of people talk, the victim mentality or the illness mentality, but this mindset of that, like, you can't get better. And I understand that this is not necessarily that particular person's issue. It was more that they've heard this and became locked in.
Allow me to give you an example.
Yeah.
Personal example. '07. I'm a 32-year-old physician. I'm married. I got a house. I got my American dream. I'm finally happy.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't happy. But I got my American dream. All right. Colon cancer stage 3+. Now,
Oh.
obviously, it didn't occur overnight. I did a great job ignoring the signs and symptoms and just basically losing a ton of weight and becoming pale as a ghost, and justified it in various ways.
I was overworking. It's okay.
Yes, exactly. Tired, short of it, 2 years and a death sentence. First oncologist. You're going to be dead by 2009 from 2007. And in the meantime, we're going to torture you with some chemo and radiation and, maybe cut out some more of your colon. And you know what? No. There's something called the truth, light, love, and freedom. And of course, safety. That's the basic foundation, the way I see it, the basic principles, pillars of holistic medicine. That's when I said, hell no. Absolutely hell no.
Yep.
And that's when that was a point to transition.
Yes.
That was the beginning of me now.
It's so interesting. I'm so glad with that, because otherwise you actually wouldn't be here. And we wouldn't be having this conversation,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me is a lot of us focus on the thing that we don't want. We're focusing on, like, how sick we are. And Sergey didn't focus on the cancer. He said, hell no, but he also, I bet, focused on what he wanted his life to look like.
Purpose, meaning. If I'm gonna be dead in 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, 70 years, let me find a meaning. Why am I here? Who am I?
Right. And so there's so much of this to unpack. And as you all know, like, I love having this conversation. And I know we're going to continue to have many about this and sharing them with you. The one thing we really wanted to touch on, though, is why is that thought pattern of I'm going to be stuck with chronic Lyme or maybe cancer or whatever it is for you? How does that get locked into your body, or more importantly, your psyche and your thinking?
And that's the control center. We put labels on ourselves. I'm a diabetic. I'm a hypertensive. I'm this. I'm that. I'm a loser. Whatever you want to call it. Literally, that's what we're saying. That's not who we are. We're infinite, amazing, powerful beings. We're sentient beings. We're soul. We're spirit. We come down here. We got a control center. We have infinite possibilities. We can create. We can manifest. We can. It's not just health. It's everything. It's material. It's relationships. It's
Right. I've literally never met anyone who's sick who has a healthy relationship with money. or a person who's got a healthy relationship with their health who doesn't start to develop, wealth in their life. And it's not all just about the numbers and the zeros, right? But so, Sergey, there's this concept like people are stuck being sick, right? And there's this pattern of thinking going on. And so my frustration is that in the chronic illness community, especially in chronic Lyme, chronic mold, there's this kind of concept that we're always going to be sick. I can get a little better. It's almost like cancer in remission, but it's going to come back and I'm going to be sick. But we were having a conversation about neurolinguistic programming and the different words that other people use and that you use on yourself that get you this locked in. So I was wondering if we could unpack that a little.
It's going to be unpacked. NLP, neuro linguistic programming. There's something called anchoring, and we get to. I took multiple levels of this actually, master level at one point. It's been a little time. The concept is NLP. The words that we use, the thoughts that we express. That is basically the processing center. That is how we're organized. Now that's a pattern. It's just all it is a pattern, just a physical pattern, mental pattern, emotional pattern. Patterns can be changed. How? We are spiritual and soul beings. So we are higher than all that. We can step back, dissociate, and then associate. Unfortunately, please share your experience. There's many well-meaning providers who use the anchoring and the strength and the power to assign the healing to an outside source, such as themselves or the product or otherwise.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we have the persistence of infection. We have and it's going to take you a really long time to get better. You're probably going to need to be on antibiotics for 2 or 3 years. This is going to be a hard road, but you'll get there.
And don't forget it, as an emergency room doctor, I have to always, you see it's called cover your ass, CYA. Okay, you have this risk of death, you have this risk of, and this works in about 5% of the cases. This is nocebo. We're killing people by doing that.
Right.
Really.
And so the languaging pattern, think about what you're saying to yourself on a regular basis, because the thoughts that you hear over and over, especially when you're in a peak state, such as working with your physician, you're like, I'm not feeling well, and I'm finally at the person who can help me. All those words that they tell you have a higher emotional value, and it's more easy to get locked into your body, locked into your brain and your psyche. So really what we want to do is start thinking about what are those repetitive thoughts that are occurring in our lives every day. You could even start writing them down. What do I say to myself most frequently? Top 3 things I say to myself. And I'd be willing to bet that if you happen to be going through a health challenge that's not on the way up, you may be a person who's saying a lot of negative things about your health. You may have beliefs that healing is hard or complex or complicated. You may be someone who's sitting here and just saying like, healing is for someone else. I know that Dr. Tom guy, he had chronic Lyme for over a decade, and now he's been cured for over a decade with no symptoms. But you know what? It's for him, but not me. That is not what we're talking about. This healing is for you, and it starts with what you're telling yourself, because all of our results that we see in the world are created twice. First, they're created on the mental level, and then secondly, they're created on the physical plane. Every result you see, whether it's the Porsche in your driveway or the jalopy, do they even still say jalopy anymore?
No, but I think that's
the old beat up Yugo, which is even old too, right? Yes. No, but I mean, so anyway, like it's we need to make light of it because so what I just did was like, I'm getting very serious, and let's break that cycle of being serious about it or negative speech, and let's put in some positive things about our health.
Placebo and nocebo.
Yes.
Things that can kill you, things that can save you. The power of the mind. 40%, even in the people who have done basically double-blind placebo control.
Yep.
If 40%, simply by the power of the mind, by those who do not believe, those who don't practice, think about those who actually do. If you put the intention. I've done a radio program, Shili Wellness Radio. Incredible. We started out with setting intention. Number 1. Number 2, following through, believing and knowing that you're going to do it. Number 3, responsibility, ability and responsibility. Break it up. Ability to respond. In other words, if you respond, you get the different outcome. Yep. You change the pattern, you change the outcome. You continue the pattern, you continue the outcome. You continue the sick mind, sick body, disconnect from the spirit.
Nice.
I mean, that's what you get. You go the pathway of alignment, actually disease, over disease. This
ease
Damn.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. Everyone, I'm just so excited to introduce you to Sergey and to be able to have this conversation together because we're going to do a lot more of these where we really want to share these little tips and tidbits. I think it's really funny, right? It's a Freudian slip there, ticks, right? Me and the Lyme disease, right? No, but it's
Yeah.
interesting. So I would challenge you right now to become more aware of what you're thinking each and every day. And if there's a thought that continually comes up about your health that you don't want to believe in any longer, whether or not you truly believe it or not, but you know that it's holding you back, you can just write down a different thought. You can project into your future and you can even go back and rewrite your past since we know that most memories were like 50% wrong anyway.
Oh God, yes.
So let's rewrite that. So take a moment and anchor yourself to something positive and a healthy outcome that you truly want rather than focusing on the thing that you don't want. And let us know how you do with that.
Absolutely. And from my perspective, I'd like to finish with a small exercise. It's a mini version of this. It is called Who Am I? And this is the power. This is the creativity. This is the capacity. If you think that you're the body, you're limited. If you think that you're your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, you're limited. Here's what I'm going to say. Not but. And I have a physical body. I'm not denying that I have this physical body. Some things go well. Some things don't go well. That's okay. I have thoughts, feelings, and emotions, the control center, the processing center. I mean, this is where everything happens before the physical happens. I am more than that. I am a spiritual being. I am a soul. I am a spirit. I am here to do something amazing. I'm here to be my best authentic self. If you start from that, do you really need the labels?
I don't think so. My friend,
Thank you, brother.
thanks so much for
Yeah.
doing this. Thanks everybody for joining us. And until next time, Dr. Tom Moorcroft, I'm out.
Yeah, Sergey Leo Shilisorin. I'm out as well.
All right. See you next time. Lots of love.